And I'm going to drop us in here. We are live. Hello to my wonderful crew and to all you wonderful people out there in the wonderful lands of Twitch. So many wonderful things tonight. Uh, Probably all the coffee I've had today so far that is keeping me
Mhm.
awake. Thank you all for showing up for the game tonight. Tonight, I'm going to just breeze us through, since we got a little bit of a late start, I'm going to breeze us through our players. So tonight, guys, feel free to wave. We have Steve playing Chetsuo Kawasaki. We have Justine playing Ronto Honda. We have Tuan playing Guy Huaito, or Huaito Guy, however you want to say it. And we
That's me.
also have Roxy playing Kyo Fujishida. I wonder how many of you new followers out there actually knew about the whole Huaito guy in our, ninja group.
Well, it's a behind the scenes sneaky peeky.
Yeah, it's a good pun. I liked it. I applaud it.
I made a funny.
I think so. So, we've got a lot going on today. And so I'm not going to drop us with any big questions, but here's the deal. Second season or second quarter for our channel is coming up next month. A lot of our other shows are going to be shutting down for a break. All our GMs are going away. This show is going to run a little bit longer because we are only an every other week show. But I've been talking with my players, and we'll be setting a time for a break. And then our goal is to finish out Growing Shadows this year. That's a scary thought because technically this has been going for quite a while, off and on. Uh, but I'm excited, and I think it'll be a lot of fun to have this opportunity. So that said, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to take care of our background, and we're going to get this episode started. All right. So when last we left our intrepid group of young heroes, not as young as they once were, they had been dispatched by the new empire that is being formed in the southern section of the Izzo lands. Now a brand new fledgling nation. But they had been sent to go and speak with the leadership or to find an alliance with the people of the land of Seed and Blossom. It hasn't gone quite how a lot of people expected because they ended up on the road and talking or fighting some people and finding that the land of Seed and Blossom is currently in the middle of a civil war. So, kind of leaves us with a lot to discuss, but they have made it into one of the major cities on the intersections. A section of the nation that is ruled by a group known as the Sisterhood of Blood, another ninja clan that a lot of people see as kind of leadership, but also midwives within this section of the world. This city is bustling. It is larger than Daniketsu. It is nearly as big as the imperial capital of the Azul lands. So you have been surrounded by people and all the industry that comes with running a city this big. Things moving about at all times. They ended up in a contest of strength and skill against some of the local warriors from what's known as the Adventurers caste. Everything in this land is divided up into castes. But after a tense competition, they defeat them and earn a little bit of respect locally. And at the same time, make some new friends, perhaps. Uh, but after you had finished your trial, as it were, nighttime was descending upon the city, and you were making your way into a local hotel, essentially, to stay for the night before the events that were coming up, which was having the opportunity to meet with a council, the lead council of this city, which is known as the Council of Three. Uh, all this said, though, I think I need to ask my players you have an evening and essentially all night before the next day to do whatever it is that you would like to do. So I want to go around the table, and starting with Chet, if you don't mind. What do you think your character would be doing tonight?
Think he is going to be browsing like local dining establishments and seeing which one fits just like his aesthetic. He's still looking for like a good place to eat after the last one he ate at burnt down.
I can understand that. That is a terrible tragedy. What was it called again? The flash in the pan?
Clash
Clash
in the pan.
Clash in the pan.
We're looking for a Clash in the Pan franchisee out here in the land of Seed and Blossom.
You know, it'd be nice. The guy who worked the kitchen, was from here. So it's not unreasonable
Died
to
horribly.
think that they'd have good food.
Small family chain.
Yeah,
Well, with that said, I'll make you a deal if you want to spend a karma. There is a establishment here very similar.
We've got 4. I'm fine with it.
I'm okay with it.
Done.
All right.
You have a Clash in the Pan, the original.
Bam.
It is like home. The smells are familiar. You look at the menu, and while there are a few changes and a few things added to it, there are a few of your favorites still present. It's anime. Let's have some fun, guys. Give me some ideas. Where are they serving? Rest of the table. Anybody?
Oh,
I know I
don't
used
know.
this gag last week, but I like to think that Chet was looking around at different restaurants, and then all of a sudden the scent from this one caught his nose, and he once again was picked up by the steam and floated over to the restaurant.
They
About
have
twice a week.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime Chet gets hungry, and then he just floats away, and we're like, okay, that's apparently what an enlightened does. Interesting. Didn't
I
know.
don't even need chakra to do it.
No chi, no nothing.
Just inherent.
You're asking for recipes at this place?
Or dishes. I mean, for example, like for me with the dishes that I would like if I was a teenager, and food places that I've eaten at that are within the realm. In Houston, Texas, there was Fu Manchung, and they had kimchi fries.
And they were, if you like kimchi, they were good.
See, the way I pictured Flash in the Pan is it's like it's not
ramen
necessarily
joint,
a breakfast spot, but they do serve breakfast all day.
right? I'm down with that. I could go for
So
some pancakes and bacon
I'm-
anytime.
I'm thinking chicken and waffles.
Okay. Nice.
Everyone
What if
loves
it's
them.
like General Tso's chicken and waffles?
I mean, it could be. It could just be
We
Guy-
can't hear you, Tuan.
some fried chicken.
I forgot I was muted.
That's okay.
I
You were
sneezed
just
and I
si-
muted myself.
You were silently judging us, I could tell.
Yep.
Not so silently. What were your thoughts?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that that chicken and waffles could have a side of okonomiyaki.
Oh.
Okonomiyaki is a kind of like a Japanese pancake crepe thing.
It looks good. I follow a couple like Japanese like restaurant making channels on YouTube, and it's quite satisfying to watch.
Yep. Well, am I able to evenly distribute the syrup throughout it?
You generally don't,
Absolutely.
not with syrup, but definitely with some sauces on top of it.
You see, if I can't evenly distribute the syrup, get it off my plate. Waffle superiority.
What is this? What about I went to the Asian market not too long ago, and they had those little buns with the red bean paste in.
Mhm.
What
Oh my
about
gosh.
like just like a massive one of those, like way too
Oh,
big, like one of
no.
those giant like pancake platters that they serve at those diners where it's like they'll like if something that's like you'll win a prize if you eat it all.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this a competition piece?
Yeah,
It's like a
it's like a double
novelty.
stuff.
You're not actually supposed to eat it.
I'm what's
And if you do, you have to sign a waiver.
Do you remember Kung Fu Panda 2, where they had the Dragon Warrior style bun? They just kind of tossed over to the customer. It looked
I
like a
don't
little
remember.
cannonball.
Nice.
Ooh, and the bun can be shaped like a really cute animal or something like that.
Oh,
And
no.
when you look at it, it's got like a little design of a face on top, and it looks so cute. But you have to eat it.
Was the second one the one with the peacocks?
Yes.
Then I don't remember it, but I did see that movie.
Mm.
like you remember the peacocks?
I remember. Well, they were the antagonists.
It was a very small screen at the very beginning of the movie, so it's easy to forget.
The only thing I
uh,
really remember from that movie is the peacocks.
I mean, I could go for some hot pot.
Oh, a hot pot. I was thinking about hot pot.
Oh, I want to do hot pot so bad.
The menu in this restaurant is just
It's
all
vast.
over the place.
It's
all.
obviously the most popular place in town.
So where am I? BJ's?
Oh
I
no.
mean, yeah, it's the land of seed and blossoms variation on Applebee's. It's
If you
it's
like Applebee's.
If you don't, then it's TGI Fridays or Chili's or.
I mean, have you been to
54th Street.
BJ's? Their menu is like
They-
that thick.
I know, I do. I like BJ's quite a bit, actually.
I like their food. It's just
Give
there's
me a
no way
Pizookie
everybody.
any day.
There's no way everybody in the kitchen is good at making all of those foods.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely.
But I digress.
Yeah. So that's our restaurant, John.
Yeah.
I get a food.
All right. Obviously super popular. Obviously, at the same time, remember, this is a land of political upheaval. The Izu Empire's currency is no longer accepted. Most everything has gone to barter. What are you going to be using? And of course, you have your trade wagon. By this one, what would you use to pay for your meal tonight?
Does
Think
everybody
Chet-
look at me?
I think Chet would try to barter with entertainment. Like he'll entertain the patrons for food.
Okay. Well then, I want a perform check.
Okay, he's gonna sing the song that he sang with that bear spirit. I decided that right now.
For
So let's
remembering
do-
that and for bringing it up, I'm giving you a +1 to your dice pool.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab that dice now. I'm gonna do performance. And let's see, what else would go good? Travel?
Yeah.
Did I learned this song on the road? All right.
Yeah.
That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Okay.
I didn't need to succeed that hard. But I guess it wouldn't be Chet if he didn't.
Guy, you are kind of a residential performer. You have your shamisen and you love to bring that out all the time. Chet impresses you. I mean, he actually does a very good rendition of this song, and you actually are caught off guard because you're like, oh, huh.
Where did this come from?
I mean, this would be like, the main character of My Hero Academia actually doing like karaoke and like kicking butt. So,
But he could never do that. He's the most embarrassed boy.
And he's so sweet.
but he's sure of himself. He's got that inner fire.
No,
Busts out into
No.
Journey.
did you see the episode where they were doing practicing news interviews?
Oh no, I have not
Oh,
yet.
he-
I haven't gotten. I like right around the time that they get attacked outside. Anyway,
Yeah.
when they get
Okay.
attacked while they're out camping, but and the school had been attacked. Yeah, that's where
Uh-huh.
I kind of had stopped for a while, so I know I'm way behind.
Yeah, no, there's an episode where they do that, and he just can't even, like, talk above a mumble. And it's, like, there's not even any cameras on him. Just someone's holding a microphone to his face.
Nice. Well, you have an absolutely delectable meal. Everybody, you have the opportunity to dine, relax. The people are very friendly. It's family-style dining, and you are all sitting together with many people. Sometimes you understand what they're saying, sometimes you don't, but the experience altogether you enjoy. Is there anything else y'all are going to be doing this evening?
I literally just bought dinner with a smile and a song. I think I'm done.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to sleep.
What
We
about
don't
Ron?
sleep good on the road.
Oh, we can hear you.
Oops.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Okay. I don't know what happened. Okay, good. I don't know. I think Ronto probably eats a super good meal, and she's already a little bit like city-ish vibes. Meh. She's probably sticking close to the crew.
Okay. What about Guy for the evening?
Guy will stay close to the group and be as inconspicuous as possible. And once we get back to our hotel rooms, I will be spending a lot of my time redoing my wardrobe because I definitely don't want to show off my skin tattoos, but at the same time I also know it's very hot and humid in this part of the world, and I don't want to melt in my own clothes.
All right. And for Kyo.
I said I was gonna go to bed.
Okay.
Let's get on to the next day. Let's do it.
Well, you'd like that, but everybody go ahead and give me a perception intuition roll.
Perception and intuition.
Would go ahead.
I got 4.
I did too.
I was gonna
Cool.
ask if I have a +1 to perception for spot checks. Would this apply here, or is this a different kind of perception?
I will allow it.
Okay. I got a 3.
All right. Everybody who succeeded, the difficulty was a 1. Both Chet and Kyo, that puts you 3 over. Because you got 4, correct?
Yep.
So that gets you a boost, which you can turn into a karma, or you can use for something else such as additional information. I will say that what happens is you go back to your room at the inn, and it's on the second floor. You open up the windows. It is very, as pointed out, it is very humid here. It's a little bit hot. You're in a near tropical environment, and as you're relaxing and going to sleep, you see light. That is the first thing that you see. And towards the area where you came into town, all of a sudden you're seeing buildings begin to ignite. And at one point, there is, you're thinking maybe, you're not certain. It doesn't have the feel or the concussive blast of, say, like a dynamite or gunpowder explosive, but all of you do see this. Now, those of you who got the additional the boosts, is there any information you're looking for?
Because I used one earlier, I'm gonna add a karma back to the pool.
Okay, if he's gonna add a karma, then yeah, I would like to get additional information. Do we see any troop movements? Do we hear any shouting in a language that sounds familiar?
All right. Outside your window, as you go to the edge, rushing over across the room and looking out across the city, you believe that you see figures in the shadows of this explosion. I don't mean like being blown up. I mean like the light illuminates, and there is a squad of people moving across the rooftops here in town.
Crap. Okay. Guys, there's people on the roofs.
I think we established last week that you and Ronto are in a room together, and me and Guy are in a room together.
Yes.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Okay.
I think Chet, his eye rolled higher, would see it first, and then just be like, "Hey, Guy,
What up?
we didn't do that, right?"
That wasn't me. I didn't do that.
And I just look at Ronto and I'm like, there's people coming across on the roof, so we need to get the guys and figure this out.
We should probably get with the girls and check that out.
Like, dip my, excuse my language, I dip my head out the window and I look towards the window next door and I just like throw a rock in there, which it's, whether it's open or closed, I throw a rock at it and I'm just like, hey, we gotta move.
Guy screams. He shrieks. We're under
That strangely
attack!
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I look back at Kyo and I'm like, okay, they know.
Good. Good.
All
I'll
right.
lean out the window and then just, because they're coming on the roofs, you said, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll lean out. Chet will lean out the window and just be like, "What do you guys see?"
They're on the roofs.
Mm,
Lots of them on the roofs. I think we need to get up to the roofs.
We're on the second story. Are there one-story buildings adjacent to us?
Yes, there are.
Okay. I take action and leap out of the window onto an adjoining rooftop and start running towards the other rooftop guys.
All right. So, the way that this is going to work, I'm going to introduce some new mechanics my players have not gotten a chance to interact with. Yes, there are mechanics that even after 3 years of playing this game off and on, we have not used yet. We have used them to some extent, but this is a new one. We are going to be fighting, as you move into the area, this is going to be considered a blazing inferno. If you, as a character, have the background of fire, the element of fire, as part of your character's path that was moving forward during character creation, congratulations, you are going to be getting a extra key in this combat.
Do any of us have that?
How many of you know?
But I don't know what that means for me.
So what element do y'all
no.
have?
He has fire, but what does that mean since he
That
doesn't have his
means-
key?
Oh, then we'll consider it.
Yeah, that's what he was asking.
That's right, you're a monk.
Yeah. I mean, I use
It would
balance, so I could
Just
just
be that way.
do extra balance to make it work.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Other than that, so I'm going to read through this. The ninja are fighting on a blazing rooftop or inside of burning buildings. If they are inside, flaming logs plummet down onto the floor. Each round, up to 2 characters with the highest initiative must avoid flaming wood as it's falling from the crumbling structure. The GM receives 6 dice to roll against the players, with the success dealing 1 damage. Those who are hit may catch on fire or even suffer a burn condition. As the debris falls, it stays on the ground and becomes an obstacle that causes damage. 1 damage if you come into contact with it. Now that is also damage for your enemies. Any character who gets a critical failure on your defense rolls also takes flame damage. If you're on the roof, though, holes are constantly opening up on the roof, causing the unwary to fall through them. During everyone's round, the target with the lowest initiative must make a challenge of 4 speed. It's a so you're looking at having to make a success of 4, and it is a speed plus perception check to avoid falling through. Those who fail fall through the hole and wind up on another level of the building, or simply take damage your choice. Now the neat things. A character may spend a dynamic action to kick or strike a piece of falling debris. If it is kicked, it goes flying through the air and falls on the target, your choice of who. If the debris strikes, it goes up in a shower of sparks, injuring everyone except the striker who is within close range. So they could be right in front of you, and you can kick it at them, and boom, it does damage to everybody, not just the person you kick it at. And again, let's see, with this one, yeah, you can also cause the roof to collapse and cause people within close range to you to fall through the roof as an action, giving y'all ideas of things you can do. So, that is where we find ourselves. Now, at the same time, you will be facing in combat a group. This is what we call a ninja squad. Now, the ninja squad gains a certain amount of bonuses. One of those bonuses is that, in their case, 1 second. Well, I'll have to pull it back up in a moment, but they get a bonus of shadows, I believe is what theirs is called. And as they move through the shadows, they gain bonuses to strike you, and then also bonuses to their defense because they're moving and acting as one organism, as this squad of ninjas. If you've ever seen the movie Ninja Scroll near the end, where Jubei's cutting down everybody, and it's just like a flight of ninjas, this is that kind of environment.
I haven't watched that movie in ages. I should rewatch it.
It's a pretty good one. Ah, there we go. Yeah, Vicious Ninja Swarm. So, flurry of bodies and flickering shadows.
Nice. All right. Well, I followed Chet out too.
All right, so I know your initiatives pretty much. I believe Guy is still the highest.
Mm-hmm.
Guy, what are you
I
going
am
to be
the
doing?
last. Do we
For
need to
the-
roll dynamic actions?
Oh, yeah, actually you do.
Yeah.
We get to roll 4 dice now, right?
Yes.
Yup.
Do we start with 2 automatically? Just
Yes,
so I
sir.
remember the
Yup.
mechanics. Cool.
All right, anything, everybody got their dice rolled?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. So starting off with Guy, how many dynamic actions did you end up with?
I just rolled 1.
So you got 3 total.
So 3 total, yes.
All right.
For now, I think I will go ahead and search for a vantage point that does not look to be on fire, or at least is stable enough that that'll take a while for it to burn down.
All right. Go ahead and give me a intuition, perception, or knowledge. I would allow that since you are looking for something very specific within the structure.
Yeah,
of the building.
so I'll go ahead and do the knowledge and perception.
And I'm going to
Alright,
say, because you're looking for it and the danger of the fire and everything else, I'm saying a 3.
Okay, I got 5 successes on it.
All right, not enough for the boost, but you do succeed. You do spot a building. Looks to be similar in shape to maybe a religious temple or something nearby, multi-leveled, and it does overlook everything, and currently is not on fire.
Yeah. And then I would like to. Would that take up my my action for the turn?
No, that would just be one. That would be your standard action. You still have your dynamic actions.
Then yeah, I would like to spend a dynamic action to then make a beeline for that as quickly as possible to have a viewpoint. So maybe
Okay.
like speed and athletics or something.
Speed and athletics. I'm going to make this into a task for you.
Sure.
So I am looking for, if you want to get there quickly and pardon the phrase, but unmolested. I'm looking at 5 successes.
Sure, and this is gonna be across multiple
Exactly.
attempts, right? So let's see here. 1, 2, 3. So I got 3 successes on that, so I'm halfway there.
All right. Keep testing on this next one, and we'll talk about what you can do afterwards.
Yeah. Let's see here.
So you only need 2 more. If you roll 5, you'll get a boost.
1, 2, 3. No, so 2. I just got 2 more successes with
All
another
right.
dynamic action. So yeah.
You can either use that final dynamic action, hold it to take an action later.
I'm gonna hold on to it for another action later, but I do get there. But,
All right, absolutely. Next up, we should have Chet and Ronto. So if you guys want to do a quick roll off of a d10.
I rolled a
Sure.
3.
I rolled a 7.
All right, so Ronto, you have the initiative for the moment. What are you going to do?
Let's see. I would also like to be getting on the rooftops. I'll have Camu start making his way on his turn towards ground levels, getting outside on the floor, and kind of following our pace from the ground. But yeah, I'd like to get on the rooftops, spot the first kind of enemy I can, and just make a rush towards them.
All right. Let's go ahead, and I must say that it will. If you just want to go ahead, we'll say for your standard action, you managed to get there. You can then trade in per dynamic action, taking another action, and basically fighting someone nearby. So making a strike. And at that point, how are you going to go about it? What are you going to do to strike at the shadows that are moving through the air as a mass?
Okie dokie. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm kind of wanting to use one of my new rhino styles and
Okay.
do a bit
Right
of a bull
on.
rush.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's see. So level 1 of pushing through the wind. Fighter gets very good at rush attacks, playing space on the battlefield to their advantage. Attacker suffers -3 penalty instead of -2, while the fighter uses a sprint action. And they deal 2 damage instead of 1 on their follow-up attack. So I would like to just straight up bull rush the first enemy I can get to, and just knock the wind out of them if I can.
All right, let's do it. Go ahead and use the appropriate skills for that test. What are they going to be?
Let's see.
Because you are
They
using a.
are. I
Should
believe
definitely be
yes.
fighting, and then what's going to be the next one that's listed with the rhino style?
I believe it's speed.
All right.
Let's see. Yes. So that'll be 4 and 4 for me. Okie doke. 2 successes.
All right. You lash out with this first attack, and how many dynamic actions do you end up with?
6.
All right. This first attack does not find purchase. It's like the shadow just disappears as you strike it. You thought you hit something, but it's like whatever was there is gone the moment your fist flies. So you have 5 more dynamic actions. What are you going to do?
Okay. Let's see. Since I am in the midst of it, I'm gonna go ahead and attempt one more kind of just blind attack, just to kind of reach out and see what I can get. I'm assuming it's just hard to see all around, is what I'm picturing. I'm just gonna go ahead and do one more blind attack, then I'll hold my actions for the time being.
All right, go ahead.
Let's see. Can I use let's see, can I use might? And if I'm going blind, would you prefer me to do something like intuition or perception?
Perception. Although
Okay.
honestly, either would work. Because one is, you don't see them, but you're trying to, while intuition is you think they were there.
Okay. Let's see. So I'll go ahead and use my perception since that's a little better. And can I do a +1 with I get a +1 perception spot check?
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, this time it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 successes.
5 successes?
Yes.
All right. You strike, and that is going to be 4 points of damage. They only managed to dodge one of those. And you actually are going to, because the way this works, if you want to, you can spend a dynamic action immediately after. I have to pull up the rules really quick because this ability. Because you were able to strike them based on the technique that they're using, if you can use a might or discipline in your next attack, you can get another free attack.
Absolutely. I will definitely
And so,
do
to
that.
explain to the audience really quick, so imagine this hotel and inn and explosions, fire in the distance, and our team rushes to the window and sees that ninjas are attacking the city. The guy immediately goes out the window and starts making his way across the rooftops, heading for this one temple in the distance to keep an overwatch. Ronto jumps out the window and starts running across, ninja run, arms back, strikes out at a shadow. It disappears as her foot connects with it, but the second strike hits. And their technique allows for a continuation on that attack. So what are we going to do?
See, once I've found purchase with my janky little fists, I'm now that I have kind of like a feel for where this first person is, I'm just gonna turn around and just do like the most wicked spin kick I can muscle up.
All right, go ahead.
And let's see. So you said might's the only requirement for this in order to do that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and use my might again, and fighting. That makes sense. Woohoo. Okay. 4 successes that time.
All right. They burn a key. You see that the shadows swirl around them and deflects part of your block. Remember that key can also be used to basically halve your damage. So he takes 2 points of damage on that. But a figure falls from the shadows onto the rooftop above you, near you. You can make them out. And it is a young man dressed all in, standard black ninja garb. This is your run-of-the-mill ninja in training, kind of subservient ninja to the group of whatever's going on here. Are you going to be doing anything else?
Foot soldier. Let's see. That was 3 of my 6 dynamic actions, if I calculated that correctly.
Yes.
I'm gonna hold on to them.
All right, Chet, you're up.
Right. I'm gonna start making my way across the roofs towards the commotion. And the first thing I want to do, probably do a perception intuition roll and see if I can hear people in the burning buildings.
Ooh, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and give me a perception intuition.
Okay, I do get a +1 on hearing checks, but I got 0 successes. Do we have a reroll anywhere in our bank?
We do not have a reroll.
Okay. Because I rolled 2 1s, so I think that makes this a critical failure.
Oh, wait. Maybe we do? It says we do. I thought I reset them.
If we do, I'd like to take it.
Chat, does anybody want to give us a reroll real fast? Real fast. Come on. Real fast. Real fast.
I'm never going to give you one, so go ahead and
9,
roll.
8,
Okay.
7, 6, 5, 4. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Whoa, lost a dice. Not gonna pick it up. There we go. There's 1, 2. That's 2 successes. It's better than the 0 I got before.
All right. I'm going to say that, yes, in a nearby building, you do hear the screams and commotion of people perhaps trapped.
Okay. Then.
And we do have
Chat's
another
gonna
reroll
shout.
that has come out of chat, so there's one in the future.
Okay, cool. I'm going to turn to, I guess I'm just going to shout to the group that there are people in the buildings. You guys take care of them. I'm going to help the people. And I'm going to try to go to the nearest building. However far away that is, I can roll if I need to get to it.
No problem. What is your dynamic actions again this round?
Got 4.
Got 4. I'm gonna say that you're gonna be able to get to one with a single action, and then if you want to use a skill or describe a way in which you get into the building, I'll let it all happen for that same dynamic action. But there will be a test based on how you describe it.
Then the way that Chet would try to do it is find a particularly weakened part of the wall from the fire. And rather than try to get in any elegant way, he's just gonna bust through the wall.
All right, so might fortitude.
That works.
All right, so out the window, Chet looks around, hears the calls, and yells out, and jumps. We're gonna say very dramatically through the air to, that classic anime pose of bringing back his fist as he goes towards the wall.
All right, I got 4 successes.
4 successes. All right. So you crash through the wall. I would have set the difficulty at 2. So no boost on that one. But you crash through the wall and land in a floor. You see probably, I'm gonna say, a family of about 5 people in here that are huddled in one corner. Areas of the building have already caught on fire, and it seems like most of the exits, except for perhaps the one you're in, are unavailable.
Okay, well, luckily I'm an adventurer. And that means I have 50 foot of hempen rope.
All right, so you're gonna try to get them to come to you.
Have. Yeah, I'm gonna try to find a safe way to get them out of the building. And if I can use the hole that I just created, that would be ideal.
All right. I am going to require a empathy roll. After all, you do have the appearance of someone not from this area of the world. They don't know if you are one of the members attacking. So you are going to have to convey to them to escape with you.
Okay. I get a +1 empathy against fear. Would that count?
Absolutely.
Okay. Can I use empathy and discipline?
That sounds like a good way to go. So empathy and discipline. So you're trying to calm yourself and them with this. After all, there is a battle taking place.
Yeah. All right. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Yeah, they come to you almost immediately. They see, just in your demeanor, the way that you look at them, that you're not there to harm them, and you're trying to help and save them. They rush over, and you secure the rope and begin guiding them out. You still have, I think, at this point, 3 dynamic actions left. What are you going to do? You're either at 3 or at 2. I think you're at 3.
Yeah, I think I thought I was at 2, but I'll take 3.
Because you did your standard, you busted through the wall, you empathied these people. So that would have been standard, and then 2 off your 5, right?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, no, I had. Sorry, I started with 2 and then I rolled 2, so I had 4 dynamic actions.
Okay, so you do have 2 left.
Yeah. So I'm going to
keep it honest. Thank you very much. Give the table a karma.
Yeah.
I guess I'll try to do another perception intuition to see if there's any more people.
Let's
and
go
if
for
there
it.
are, I'm just gonna go for them. 2, 3, 4, 5 again.
5 again. All right. You have a perception that they are in the next building over. I am going to give you a boost. because I would have set the difficulty at 2, so you were 3 over, gaining a boost on this opportunity, so you could get a karma, or you could use it for one of the other abilities with a boost. And I will say that they're the next building over. For if you want to try and break into that building, you're going through 2 walls, so I'm setting the difficulty at a 4. Otherwise, it's going to be your 2 dynamic actions. Your last 2 dynamic actions, or last dynamic action, will get you to the building, but not in it.
Okay. I will attempt another Might Fortitude to bust into the next building.
All right, let's go for it. So you rush across the floor. This building is where on the other side of where the people fleeing from this building were. So they had gone towards the screams of the other group in this building over. And you're rushing towards that wall now, ready to strike it.
All right. I rolled 9 dice and only got... I got 2 10s, so I did get 4, but it was real cutting it close.
All right. Right on the dot, though. You crash through the first wall and sail through the air about a good 3 feet. You are suspended for a moment going towards the next wall that you see beyond you, and your hand crashes into the exterior, punching out a hole, and you break into it as well. Finding yourselves now amongst a whole group, and I'm going to say 20 people in this building huddled together. So,
Okay,
and that's where we're going to be
that's-
leaving you for the moment.
Yeah, that's my last action.
Kyo.
Okay, so he told us to focus on the bad guys, right?
Yes.
Do the bad guys have the skull face paint?
Can you release a second? Sorry. You look out, and the majority of them that you see in the shadows, no. How high did you get on your perception? You rolled pretty high, so you got bonus information, right?
Yep.
You see a strange figure amongst the group that runs with a hunched back. Bent over, almost more animal-like, maybe a little bit simian-like, running with this group of ninjas.
Okay. Shoot. I'm gonna try to get closer and get better eyes on that individual to see if it looks like a celestial beast or a ninja.
So I'm going to say travel and perception. And how many dynamic actions do you have?
I only rolled 1, so I have 3.
All right, so this will be your standard action to start off the round to see what you see.
Sure, just give me 1 second and see if I have anything to boost my perception. It did not. Nope, okay. May I use a karma?
I say go for it.
I'm okay with it.
Is poison.
Ooh, that's only a 1.
Well, you do have some rerolls.
Yeah, I think I might burn a reroll too. I'll catch up on my accounting in the chat here in a second. That's better. How about 1, 2, 3? 3.
All right, you exceed by 1 for the difficulty I would have been looking for. So not a boost, but amongst this group, now that you're a little bit closer, you see, again, a horde of these low-level ninjas. And this creature is not a celestial beast. In fact, you would say he is probably a man. But to give you an idea of what the appearance is for everybody at my table, oh, you can't make that out. Let me go ahead and just describe it.
Yeah, use your
It's
words.
censored.
So, it appears to be a man, but there are gaps in his flesh. You notice that he is hunched over, and his back appears distended. And looking at him, his hands end in wicked claws, and there is a look to his mouth, like imagine a rodent's teeth. You know, the 2 lower teeth and the 2 upper teeth that seem, much larger in size. Yeah, if you want to look at that.
Is there any way for you to throw it in the Shadow Lurkers channel?
Yeah, give me just one moment and I will throw it up there. So, I will also say with that, you know, you didn't quite get the boost, but you think you hear the sound of buzzing coming from him.
Do I think he's a ninja? I guess it doesn't matter. I'm going to try to get close to him, like an idiot. And on the way, though, I would like to mold key
Awesome.
as one of my dynamic actions.
All right. I will say that you can go ahead and move towards him and mold your key.
Oh, you know what? I don't need to mold key. I have enough.
There you go.
I have enough to do what I'm doing. Yeah, I want to use Tainted Key, and I'm going to try to get to him and touch him.
Ooh, I like it. Go for it.
And use the Jutsu Tainted Key. Let me just one second.
Tainted key. Tainted key.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so for Tainted Key, I have a dice pool of 5. It is my Yang plus my Holistics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Couldn't have asked for, well, I could have asked for better, but that's 3. What it does is I touch a target, and for a number of rounds equal to successes, so 3, the target must use the opposite type of key to activate any jutsu, and any jutsu creates a backfire effect. So
That's so nasty.
I'm hoping he is a ninja indeed, or else it's a waste. But yeah,
As you touch him, it kicks off. Your power kicks off, which tells you that yes, this is a ninja, and he looks upset and confused. But then he sees you, and there's a little bit of recognition as well. Obviously, you do not have a gem in your forehead like everyone else does in these lands.
I do not. Does he?
Yes.
Okay.
And it is of fine quality.
Ew, gross. Okay. So that was my standard action and my dynamic action. Do I need to kick off my thick skin with an action? It just says plus 1 armor.
Should not.
Okay, cool. I am going to also then, let's see. Can I use another jutsu?
As long as you have the key to back it up, yes.
So I have my, I think I do. How many did I use the last time? This is the part that always confuses me, is how many key I use.
What level ability was that?
Tainted Key is a medium.
Alright, so you would have used
3,
3.
but my total key pool is 5.
There you go.
So I should be able to do a basic.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do Stone Lung. I'm gonna try. And that is another 5, so I'll roll that. And I'm gonna touch him again. I'm gonna try to just do a pop and hit him with 2. And that is 2.
All right, I rolled 3 successes.
Okay.
We do have another reroll on the table.
We actually have 5 rerolls on the table. I'm gonna take one, guys.
Whoa.
That's okay.
Thank you, chat, for them.
That's
Thank
worser.
you.
That's worser. So yeah, I'll just take the loss on that one. I don't get a backfire, right? Because I didn't crit fail.
No.
It just didn't go off. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so what will happen is, you reach out to touch him, and he will actually transform into, like, his body just bursts into a swarm of insects, which moves across the roofs of the building away from you and reforms about 7 or 8 buildings over.
Ew. Well, he still has his key tainted.
Yep.
I just dropped that in the Shadow Lurkers chat tab so the chat can see it too. If you're in the Discord, you can check out the Shadow Lurkers channel and get an idea of what Kyo's rendezvousing with up there.
Dude, you touched that guy.
All right, really quick. Ronto, your Kamu, what's he going to be doing?
So Kamu, and I would like to go if I need to use my dynamic actions that I've been holding to do this, that's totally fine. Seeing that Chet's kind of given some orders, I was thinking I would go ahead and tell Kamu to make himself available to help Chet carry people out. I mean, he's a decent-sized mount for anybody who can't manage their way out. So I'm going to have Kamu follow Chet, and Chet can be in charge of Kamu if he would like. If not, I can just act on his own.
All right. Everyone, the swarm of shadows moves in everybody's direction. You're all going to be having to defend.
Okay.
Am I included?
Yes.
Okay.
You're right at the edge of the building. And
I was gonna say, if we don't have dynamic actions to defend.
You may have free defense equal to your athletics. You don't have to start burning dynamic actions until you run out of athletics dots. All right. I'm going to throw this one at... Oh, actually, and they won't be going after Guy because he moved to that temple. Sorry. So, Guy, you will not have to be defending. But, Ronto, I'm going to send this one after you. They rolled a total of 10.
What?
Yeah,
Pretty
10,
good.
that was a really good roll. That is 10 damage. But you may attempt your defense against it. That was a really insane roll. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
Oh.
That's okay. That's just the name of the game. Okay, so athletics, and I get to pick my second one, right?
Yes.
Let's see. For my defense, and just to add a little bit of flourish as that swarm approaches, I'll go ahead and use fighting as my second thing, as I kind of whip off my hat and just kind of give it like a big sweep. So let's see. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and ooh. Let's see. I probably won't. That is. Let's see. That is 1, 2, 3. Only 3 successes.
All right, so you negate 3 points of the damage. That takes you down to 7. But I am
Okay.
going to remind you, you may spend a point of key to negate to half of that, and it rounds down.
Let's see.
So that would be 3 points of damage instead of that 7.
I think I'm gonna take that.
Just a reminder, it's a very important use of key in this game.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, I will go ahead and take that. So I'm now taking 3 damage.
Yep. So yeah, this swarm of ninjas in the shadows, moving in that strange way, surrounds you, and you have to dodge, and you get hit by what you think are possibly several blows, which does all this. And of course, you wrap yourself in your key to kind of absorb it, but it still breaks through your defense. Yes.
Is that psyche or health
Health.
damage?
It's health damage. Yeah, these are physical attacks. All right, Kyo. Go ahead and roll to defend. You are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, I do have 1 point of armor
Okay, so that'll negate one
for
automatically.
thick skin. Let's see, what else do I have?
And then you just roll your defense, which is going to be, depending on how you look at it, speed or athletics, or speed and athletics together, however you describe it.
Athletics and fighting is probably better for me than speed, for sure. Or, I mean, speed and fighting would be fine too. But we'll see how it goes. So I'm going for 5 here.
Yep, so you're trying to parry the blows away with your arms.
Okay, I got 3.
All right, so you're looking at 2 points of damage on that. All right, so
Alright,
no,
so-
no, you're looking at 1 point of damage because your
Because your
armor took the other one away.
That's right. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm fine with that.
All right, and Chet, the shadows move past you, and you see several shuriken coming at you.
Okay. I'm gonna attempt to pick up probably like
Use your anti-projection ability.
something. I can't. I don't have a dynamic action
Dang it.
to interrupt and do that. So I'm just gonna have to improvise, smack him away.
All right, you're looking at 5 points of damage.
Okay. I'm looking to negate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of that 5 damage.
All right. So, you this knock them away. Describe it if you want to, but essentially you're just, classic anime, just knocking all the shuriken out of the air.
Yeah. So I'm doing it with like a metal ring that I have on my finger. I'm using that to parry away the shuriken, and doing it in a way where they also don't ricochet and hit the people I'm trying to protect.
Nice. All right, top of the round. Going back up to the top. So, Guy, you're seeing all this taking place and this swarm overall. You also saw that figure moving. What are you going to do?
Let's see. Oh, also, do we roll dynamic actions again? At
Yes,
the top of
dynamic
the round?
actions for everybody.
Oh, so the defense is over. Okay.
Yeah.
Here. Uh, 5 total. All right. So first thing I want to do is I can see all the moving pieces right now, right, from my vantage points.
Yes.
I want to be able to try and figure out what, if anything, is like the motivation for this conflict right now. Is it like just a random bandit group, or is there a greater purpose for this? So maybe if you'll agree with the suggestion, intuition and knowledge to try and discern what's happening.
Absolutely. Let's do it. And I'm setting the
Alright.
difficulty at a 3.
Okay then. Let's see here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I got 3 successes exactly.
All right. You're watching all this, and you're also noticing that each blow that your team has done, every point of damage that was done is technically the death of one of the enemy ninjas. So, like, Ronto, how much damage did you do? You did 4 points damage?
Points,
you're-
yes.
Yeah. So that's 4 ninja that have gone down out of this group. And there are going to be more people coming in from the adventurers cast once everybody is aware of this attack taking place. It would seem to be a very foolish attack. And that's when it dawns on you that something isn't right. This is a distraction. You look towards what you believe is the center of the town, and you think you see a small group of shadows moving towards the center of town.
Hmm. In that case, who's the closest teammate to me right now?
Possibly either Kyo or Chet.
In that case, can I spend a dynamic? Would you allow me to spend a dynamic action to write a quick note to then tie to a kunai to throw to at one of them?
It sounds really cool. I would say just do it.
Then yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna throw down a note for them in a way that it lands to catch their attention, so that way they can, get my communique. And then I want to start running towards the center of town.
All right. So technically, marksman, because you're going to be throwing this.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess throwing also works with the athletics too, doesn't it? I believe it does. So it would be one of those two with a, I'm going to say knowledge would work. You're trying to do this very quick. You're using your writing, doing it in such a way that you're going to draw their attention. Or crafts. I would also allow crafts because you are making it.
Let's see here.
And I'm setting the difficulty at 4. So just you're trying to get their attention. Otherwise, it does arrive there, but it's going to take time for them to realize what's happening.
I got 4 successes on the dot.
Perfect.
Are you throwing one at each of us?
No, just one at probably Chet, since he's the loudest one,
Okay.
The loudest one.
right? And then I want to start making my way towards the center of town.
And Chet, I'm going to interrupt that really quick to say that reflexively, because he made the roll, you snatch the kunai out of the air and realize it's from Guy.
There's a
knife
note
note.
attached.
A love note.
All right.
This is
you
my third
do
knife
it?
note this week.
It basically says real quick, shady group heading towards center. I will be spying. I'll be watching them. And come when you can.
All
And
right.
I want to start then using my dynamic actions to start following after the shadowy group towards the center of town and try to tail them without being spotted.
Travel stealth.
All right, travel is. I need to up my travel, and then stealth is 4. So 5 dice. 5 dice.
Do you want to spend any karma?
Not just yet, but can I go ahead and say that I'm dropping down to ground level and using lower concealment since I'm a bit shorter than your average person to get an extra +1 stealth?
I'm going to set the difficulty at 2 at that point.
All right.
You're not really going to be able to keep up with them as much.
Sure.
But I will also not make you roll stealth against them too much. So.
Oh, the stealth part is fine. It's the travel part that is not that great for me. But let's see here. That is. Oh, actually, I rolled pretty high on that. That is 5 successes on that,
All right.
Nice. Nice.
and I believe that's enough to get a boost.
It is. I will. How would you like to do this? Would you like to do this with a little bit? Would you like to add a karma to the pool, or do you want more information, or do you want to do it with some flair? Those are the ones I would say for boosts would really work in this situation.
Well, in this case, you said that I wouldn't normally be able to keep up with them since I'm trying to use lower cover to avoid detection, right?
Yes.
In this case, maybe because of the boost, I can actually keep up with them.
I will say that you are able to keep up with them. You very smartly go through a few buildings. Maybe you just are like, excuse me, coming through. Very much, Spider-Man, Peter Parker running through the building, jumping through windows, just trying to keep up. But I will also give you a piece of information based on that roll, because technically it is a legendary success. You notice that you think you get the flash of the branding or markings on the face that one of them is part of Kyubio's pox.
It's them again. Let's see here. So, let's see. I just want to keep on tailing them and gather as much information as I can. So I imagine that's more just going to be reflexive things from there on, and we'll just save my dynamics for once I get a little bit more information from them.
Give me a, based on what you're seeing, and after a few moments, I want you to go ahead and give me an intuition and empathy roll.
Empathy. Oof, I've got no empathy.
Who wants to empathize with these guys, honestly?
Right? I got 1 success.
all you can think is, all you can see is murderous intent in their eyes when you do look at them.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to give you for that.
Sure. And I'll go
Uh,
ahead and wait.
Are you going to hold the rest of your actions for later on?
I'm gonna hold off my dynamic actions until they decide to do something more engaging. So yeah.
Alright. The Adventurers cast is beginning to wake up. You hear the sounds of calls of alarm towards the fire and the explosions, and they're going to be approaching very soon. For those of you that are there, combat is going to at least continue. That said, next up, Chet and Ronto. Last time, Ronto, you went first. You want to continue in that, or do y'all want to roll off again?
I
do you want
rolled
to one?
already.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Let's roll it off.
You're supposed to roll off every time, John. Follow the book.
I would.
Or
I'm not always, a rules as written kind of guy.
I also rolled 4. Do we roll again? Or do we go simultaneously?
You do roll again,
fight
actually.
to the death.
9.
Roll it off again.
9, 8. Dang it.
Ah.
That's okay.
All right, so that gets Chet, correct?
Okay, yep. And I have no dynamic actions. Well, I have the 2 that I get. I didn't roll any extras.
Alright.
So first things first, I'm going to try to calm these 20 people down and get them out of this building.
All right. Empathy discipline again?
I'm thinking so, yeah. Let's do that.
Cuteness.
Okay.
Boo.
2,
He's such a sweet boy.
3 successes.
3 successes. You're not going to get a boost out of it, but they begin to come your way. You don't have to have them use a rope necessarily. Some of them would probably be smart, but the buildings are close enough together that they can basically brace themselves and start making their way out the hole that you created. But they now know that they can trust you and are starting to find a way to exit.
Yeah. And I will explicitly say to them, do not go to the center of town. Go to the inn. Unless that's in the center of town.
No, it's not. With this, so you technically had 2 dynamic actions and 1 regular action. So that could be your regular action is working with them. You still have 2 dynamic actions left. Then what are you going to be doing?
So I've now gone in 2 burning buildings and helped 2 groups of people. Are there more burning buildings?
Probably. I mean, it looks like they targeted the storehouses that you came through originally.
Okay, would those have people in them?
If there are any workers there at night, it'd be kind of a rarity. It'd be very unusual to you to think that there would be that many, but there is always a chance.
Okay.
I'm kind of leaving it in your ballpark. Whether or not they would be
Yeah.
trapped workers is the big question.
Yeah, I guess Chet would use one of his actions to check.
All right.
Do another perception intuition.
I'm going to set the difficulty at a 3.
I got 2, but we do have 1,000 rerolls, so I'm going to use one of them. And then I got 3.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and say that while you see people making their way away from all the burning buildings, you don't hear the sounds of anyone trapped or any more cries for help other than just the obvious. So you have 1 more dynamic action, and it appears that nobody is in need of your aid immediately.
I'm going to start rushing to the center of town and try to meet up with Guy, but while he's going quiet, I'm going loud.
All right.
So I'm thinking speed and discipline so that I can keep a level head on my goal.
How good, before you roll, how good are you in those?
Discipline's maxed out. Speed is 3 dots.
Okay. I'll make you a deal.
Okay.
If you can
Like
roll,
a devil's bargain.
give me a good description to add another dice, and get 5 successes, and I'll let you
Okay.
catch up with Guy to start the next round together.
Okay. So the way that I'm thinking, Chet makes sure the last person gets out safe, or at least has set up like people who seem capable in that group to make sure everybody gets out safe. And then he's gonna do a real cool like vault onto the rooftop he's currently on, and then just beeline straight towards the center of town.
All right. Go ahead and give me that roll. Extra one. Do you want to spend any karma for this roll?
Are you guys okay with me spending a karma?
Yeah, go for it.
That'll get me 10 dice.
Cool.
We still have 3 left.
Okay, so I have 1, 2.
Stop throwing your dice across the room, Steven. God.
Yeah,
I'll take it as a good
Well, I
sign when he's
dropped-
excited.
dropped 1, so I gotta roll an extra. I only got 3 successes.
Oof.
We still have rerolls.
Mm-hmm. With 10 dice,
We
that's
do.
worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
good.
Yeah, there's a good chance that I'll probably get a better one. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5.
There you go. You spring up, and like you said, going loud, you blitz across the surface of these buildings, heading towards the center of town, just kicking off from
Oh.
rooftop to rooftop.
The way I see it, I'm not like on fire per se, but there's like an aura of fire around me, so I kind of look like a fireball hurtling towards the center of town.
That's terrifying.
A little bit of a backdraft as as you jump, you pull the flames with you.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So that takes us to Ronto. Ronto, what are you doing?
So these swarms, when they strike, do they feel like little things, or does it just feel like an actual person is punching me?
It's an actual person, but they are moving
Okay.
they're moving in formation, so it is a swarm of people.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like D&D spider swarm or something like that. Okay. I would like to go ahead and activate my Stampede Jutsu. I'd like to see if I can get some birds to kind of just swarm the swarm, if that makes sense, and kind of throw off their organization.
All right.
So let's see. I need to roll Yang and Discipline to kick that off. Or to do it successfully. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the Discipline slowly going up. And do you guys mind if I use the Karma?
Do it.
Go for it.
Thank you. Woohoo! Okay, that is 1, 2. 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. And that does kick off, correct? For what level of jutsu is this?
It's hang on, let me double check. It is an advanced jutsu.
Okay.
So I think the difficulty might not have made that
it
one.
hits, it goes off, but
Okay.
what is the backfire on that ability?
Backfire.
Yeah, backfire for that jutsu will also go off because you did not roll high enough.
Oh, this will be interesting.
For the people
let's control.
in chat and watching, a backfire, jutsus always go off. If you have the key to power jutsu, it always happens, but the backfire is what affects you as well. And it can be anything from damage to lowering your dice pools in certain ways. There's all kinds of weird stuff that can happen with the backfires. It can even make it to where you can't use that jutsu for a day or two. So what's the one for yours?
And this, it says, I'm going to suffer a -1 penalty to all social checks for the scene. Accepting more of the animal inside makes the ninja lose themselves.
I mean,
The
is
worst thing
that
that
really
could happen
gonna
to
change
Ronto.
anything?
All right, I'm
She
gonna
like
say this.
sneezes or something.
As you try to use the jutsu and as you call upon the power of the swarm, you're hoping for maybe some birds or maybe even bats to, arrive. And you're calling it forth. You're calling out to the key that is within all living creatures, and you start to feel it. Something's coming. It's arriving, and you begin to lean over and hunch forward, looking and peering, waiting for whatever it is to show up. And suddenly, out of one of the gutters, a swarm of rats erupt and just kind of start to cover part of the swarm of ninjas that are also out there. But you, in this moment, as you have connected with this swarm, you're now hunched over and kind of, twitching your nose and maybe sticking out your front teeth. You've taken on a little bit of the persona of the rat yourself.
Ooh. That's okay. We'll learn to live with it.
For a
Let's see.
moment,
I did
too.
forget to mention that for this stampede, I'm picturing it now. Let's see. Anyone within far range of the ninja using this jutsu must make a number of moderate 2 defense checks equal to the activation successes. Failed checks inflict 2 damage. I just forgot to add that part.
You see 2 more ninja fall out of the sky covered in rats. And they probably bounce on the side of the building, roll off, and fall, the 3 stories to the ground below.
I'm going to start the plague.
So, but you still have other dynamic actions this round, correct?
I do. In fact, let's see. I have 5. Because that whole thing was my first turn.
Jesus. Wow.
I didn't think that far ahead. Let's see.
Happens.
So
You
knock
can always
2 out.
hang on to them.
I think what I'm. That's true. I would like to ask. Would Chet want Camu to follow in his direction, or would Chet want Camu to return to the fight up top on the roofs? Because I did send him to go with you for a bit.
Yeah, I think having Camu come with me to the center of town is probably a good call.
Sure. Then that's totally fine. That's what I'm going to have him on then. As for myself, because I'm sure there's plenty of swarmage happening up here, I'm just going to take another swipe.
Okay. Let me ask, if you had the opportunity to use your dynamic actions to finish out this round in fighting, would you do that?
Mhm.
All right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
go ahead and roll a number of attacks equal to your dynamic actions. What
Okay.
about for Kyo? While this is all going on, are you also going to be fighting the swarm of ninja?
Yeah, probably, unless I happen to see Guy go off by himself, then I might follow to, Mama Bear. But, yeah, I was probably gonna fight. I was gonna put my, throw my coin purse in my hand, or my little, and then I was just gonna start pummeling things.
All right. If you would like to, go ahead and roll for your number of dynamic actions. How many do you have left?
I have 5, plus
Okay.
my standard action.
If you want to, go ahead and roll for that. Because we're going to go ahead and speed up combat here just a little bit doing this.
So do you want us to count total successes or successes
Yeah,
per
yeah.
hit?
Total successes after all your attacks. Because I'll go ahead and drop the hint on this. You are up against this vicious ninja swarm. They have 21 health as acting as a whole body. And based on the amount of actions that you have collectively between you and Ronto, they have blocked 10 points of incoming damage. So anything that together you do past 10 is going to be done to this swarm.
What did you get? Toronto. I'm considering using a reroll for one of mine.
I'm feeling pretty okay. So throughout 5 dynamic actions worth of fighting, it's a total of 22 successes.
Okay, so that's 12 points of damage that still rolls over to them, plus the 4 points damage that you did earlier. So they're at 16. If you can get past 5 points of damage for Kyo, you take down the swarm together.
I got 12.
Nice. I'm going to say that those last few points of damage roll over to the creature that you were fighting, this other ninja. And even before this Adventurers Guild gets there, you have defeated the ninja swarm, and this one kind of does a backflip again and jumps away, trying to escape. Is anybody going to try and stop him, or are y'all going to let him go?
I'm out of dynamic actions.
Yeah, you just had us use all of our dynamic.
All right.
Jerk.
He flees into the night, the only survivor. As you look around, there are now 21 bodies of dead soldiers from this ninja swarm littered about the buildings. Yes.
Yes.
You said the rat boy got away?
Yeah.
Hunchback guy, simian guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, remember, he couldn't use jutsu.
He ran.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure.
All right, so this takes us to the other team for the moment. And I'm going to say full dynamic actions on y'all's part. You see this group of 3 ninjas, which appear to be two mooks with one of the Kyobio's Pox leading them. What are y'all going to do? Guy, you see Chet come up out of nowhere, and y'all two are in pursuit of this group.
Mm-hmm. All right, and we have yet to.
Yeah, and
Figure
y'all act before them. I'm literally going to give you all your dynamic actions this round.
Okay.
So you
like,
don't even have to
if-
roll.
Oh. What am I going to do with this embarrassment of dynamic actions?
How many are you giving us?
I'm giving them their full, so that is 4 plus 2. That's 6 dynamic actions each.
Mhm.
Wow.
So that's
okay.
as if I rolled a 10 on every dice.
No, I didn't say that. I said as
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
Lordy. All right,
So let's
so we
see.
still don't know what they're doing, but they haven't noticed us yet.
If you want to, if you want, both make an intuition perception roll.
That's what I was thinking of doing.
I'm saying the difficulty at 3.
Okay. How many rerolls do we still have?
Last I looked, it was...
They hooked us up. We're up at 5.
Wow. Thank you, chat.
I'm gonna use one. I'm not even gonna ask permission.
We're drowning in them.
Okay. Oh, I got 3. Aha.
I only got 2.
Chet, you realize probably a little bit of your background, understanding bureaucracy, things of that nature. They are headed in the direction of where you were told to meet the Council of 3 tomorrow, the leaders of this city. Technically, the leaders of the entire province.
Okay.
And
Yeah, we probably need to engage them.
Yeah. So, Chet, without consulting Guy,
Mm-hmm.
will stand up, walk out into the center of town behind them, and just say, "Hey, fellas, I think office hours might be closed."
nice. All right. So, what are you going to be doing? I mean, they're going to square off with you at this point. They're like, oh, somebody's going to try and stop us.
I'm gonna try to intimidate the goons.
All right.
Make it to where we only have to deal with the big boy. So I'm thinking intimidation, and since I'm really just trying to like stand there menacingly when they turn around and look at me, and I use fortitude for that, or would you want it to be something like might?
Well, what is your goal with this? You're trying to look menacing?
I'm trying to look menacing. I'm going to stare, like I'm staring down the two goons. Chet doesn't think it's gonna work on like the main guy, but he thinks that a couple mooks, he can
Discipline and might be the way to go.
discipline might. Okay, and then I get a +1 to intimidations for a stare down, and I apply.
All right. I'm going to say this is a psyche attack. You're attacking the psyche of these characters. I'm going to set them both at 5 because they're essentially just mooks.
Okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. I got 4.
They stagger. They're
Okay.
still there, but they've only got 2 points of psyche damage left each.
Okay. Then I will say, guy, their spirits are weak. Break them. I'm gonna throw the doing stuff over to Twan.
All right. So, Guy, what are you going to do?
You're muted.
You're muted again, bud. Sorry.
Damn it, sorry. Was doing that first intuition perception in action?
I was going to give that one for free because I
All right,
I
good.
asked for it. I asked y'all to do it.
Sure. And so for my first standard action, I would like to fire off a jutsu. Work smarter, and that is a medium jutsu with yang discipline, and I have 3 yang, so I don't need to mold anything. So I'm rolling 7 die. I'm going to use one of those rerolls for this one because I only got 1 success on 7 dice.
Not a problem.
All right, much better. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 successes on that.
Okay. So, Work Smarter goes off, obviously. What is the benefit?
It allows me to, if ever I am asked to do any test that requires half of it to be like a physical skill, to replace that with knowledge 8 times.
So the number of successes equals the amount that you can do.
How
it.
many
How
many
many
times I
times?
can replace a physical skill with knowledge?
That's
Yes.
nice.
Right? And so, let's go ahead and, now that my big brain is working, run in there and, how many are actually still, planning to stand their ground and engage?
Technically, they all are, but 2 of them have taken are kind of faltering, realizing that their plan did not work perfectly.
Mm-hmm. In that case, I would like to engage one of the other ones that is not looking like they're faltering. And I want to run up to them and plant one of my traps on their backs to hopefully automatically trigger.
Okay.
Jesus.
So instead of hiding it, I am going to plant it right on their bodies.
All right, and that's going to be one of your dynamic actions?
Yep.
All right, and let's go ahead and go for the roll on that.
All right, so I imagine maybe fighting and stealth to get it planted on.
Yep.
In which case, I'm going to replace the fighting with knowledge.
Because knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. I work smarter, not harder. And so, I'm going to put one of my capture traps on this one to hopefully lock him down. All right, so I got 4 successes on that.
He only negated 1. It goes off. It basically the trap goes off, encasing him in ropes, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's going to be one of your dynamic actions. What else are you going to be doing?
Let me go ahead and repeat the other one to the other one of the other ninja. And let's go ahead and not do an explosion trap, because, dear God, I don't want to be close to that. One of my immobilized traps to hopefully get them knocked out with poison gas. Remind if it's the same combo for this one, or
Yep,
should I try
absolutely.
and do?
Now let's
All
do
right
it.
then. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes on that one.
All right. I rolled technically 5 successes. I'm going to give you an opportunity. You can spend one of the rerolls on me. And I have to reroll
What?
my dice. But you guys
Let's
lose
do it.
access to that reroll later.
Hmm.
I'll sign off.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
It's like fun.
All right.
Force you to reroll.
1 success. So he goes down to poison gas.
All right, I have. Let's see here. I have 4 remaining dynamic actions. I'm gonna hold off on those for now, and we'll figure out what to do with some reactions and interruptions later.
All right. Chet.
Okay. So as another intimidation might, I'm just gonna start slowly approaching the only guy who's left up and not falling. Well, actually, maybe intimidation and fighting, because I'm going to cock my fist back. Like, if you don't run away, I'm going to punch you.
All right. When you get close enough, he is going to spend for an interrupt.
Okay.
And he is spitting in your face.
I'll spend for an interrupt.
Rude.
Yeah. Okay, so it's
And-
2 dynamic actions for an interrupt.
Deflect projectile back at his dumb face.
So you
Well,
spit
no, I
back
was-
and it goes.
I was, if I see him like rear back to spit, I'm just going to get in there quicker, punch him in the throat,
Oh no.
so that he can't quite get the muscles to do what he needs them to spit.
All right, let's
And
go
I'll
for
do
it.
that.
Drool.
I'll do that with fighting and discipline if I can.
All right.
Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
All right, you hit him for 1 point of damage.
Yeah, that's enough. Punch someone in the throat for 1 point of damage, they're not gonna have a good time.
True. But technically, he still, gets his action after that.
Okay.
So, you begin to see him burning key, and you see like a black miasma of particles swirling about him as he spits. And so you're going to need to make a defense action to dodge this.
Okay.
And I'm telling you right now, I rolled 6.
Okay. Okay. So I'm thinking discipline, athletics, to get away from it. So like
Alright.
keep a clear head and just be like, oh, he's not just disrespecting me, he's actually doing something.
All right.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. 2, 4. I got 4 against
Alright.
his 6.
Yeah, so it's still going to hit you. Yeah, unless you want to
Yeah.
reroll.
No. No. I think
Alright.
4 is good. I'd be hitting on 17 if I re-rolled.
you are going to take a cumulative of a status of diseased times 2 to your character.
Okay.
You have caught Yakubio's pox.
All right.
Oh,
And then
no.
does that go back to my original action?
Yes. Now that his interrupt is over, you've got the rest of your dynamic actions left.
And let's see. I have 6. I've used. This will be my 3rd one. So then, yeah. All right. I'm just gonna beat this guy up.
All right.
I'm gonna wipe the spit onto my palm and like slap him across the face.
Get it in there.
And I'm gonna do that with a might fighting. Oh man, that's 3 10s. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 successes. Screw this guy.
You, I'm gonna say, dent his face in.
Yes.
Just, yeah, he falls backwards, but he laughs a little bit, gurgling as he dies.
Gross.
All right.
All right.
And then I guess with one of my last ones, I'm gonna try to choke out the dude that Twan tied up.
All right.
Probably another might fighting.
You notice that your strength is beginning to fail you.
Oh no. Am I going to lose dice? I'm holding so many.
You lose 2 dice.
It didn't feel good, guys. This doesn't
Hmm.
feel good. Can I? How much karma do we have?
Enough.
Guys, are you cool with me using karma?
Yeah,
Well,
we have
before you
2.
do, you can always spend a dynamic action to ignore conditions.
I never realized that.
Mhm.
I'll spend a dynamic action and ignore conditions.
There you
All
go.
right.
Get those 2 dice back.
Good catch.
Can I still spend a karma though?
Yep.
Get an extra 1 dice just to spite this disease even more?
Absolutely.
I'm actually healthier now. Thank you.
Okay, so that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 success to choke this dude out.
All right. You choke him out, and he is knocked out. As you're doing this, though, 3 figures appear amongst you, and Guy. You did not hear them, you did not see them until they were there, you did not smell them. All your senses did not realize that this group was here, but it looks as if, imagine, you have been in battle. You have seen when a weapon strikes another person and there is a spray of blood in the air. That kind of coppery color that hits the air.
Mhm.
Imagine that in that moment, 3 women of a indeterminate age suddenly appear before you, coming out, forming from this mist.
I don't like it.
Council of 3, guys. Council of 3.
They
Think-
they all come over. Chet, your vision begins to go. You start to lose the ability to see, and one of them walks over quickly and says, I must do what I can. And places a hand on your forehead.
Right before my consciousness fades, I just say, "Guy, I don't feel so good."
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
And they touch you and are able to stave off. You feel the blood in your body moving. Like you can feel it traveling in, imagine, tidal waves through your body. and they begin to organize your your white blood cells. You feel it in your marrow traveling out into your body as it is fighting an infection. And you are going to be temporarily down 1 in your might. So you're now at a disease state 1. But she informs you, I'm afraid that they have already given you the disease. I'm sorry.
Is there a cure?
No. One of us, one of us or one of our sisterhood will have to stay with you to keep it staved off continually.
Where am I?
All right, we're going to say that all of you are able to meet back up. The adventurers show up in the quarter and begin putting out the fires, working together. Some of them amongst them are ninjas. I'm going to say, just for fun, some of them are splendid chameleons, and you watch as they distend their bodies, their arms become wide, paddle-like, almost taking on the form of buckets. They walk over the river and start just dipping their arms in at length, spraying water out, moving the water, these large appendages that they've created to look like giant oars, and this splashing it out over the buildings. So, but y'all are able to make your way to the center of the town where you saw Guy and Chet running, and you see these 3 women there.
If I can tell that Chet has been poxed, I actually have holistics and healing in my background. So if someone explains to me that one of the Sisters of the Order is supposed to stay, I'm going to ask, can you show me? Because I am not unfamiliar with the practices of healing.
Let me look really quick. They will talk to you about it in the morning during your audience, because what it will take is learning a jutsu. And you're going to have to argue your case for the opportunity to learn this, because this is one from them specifically.
All right, then. I guess I'll just talk again.
I think I know something that you can use as leverage. We just saved their whole town, and also several people are still alive.
They might want to keep you because of that, Chet. So I either need you to be really irritating for the next 36 hours, or
It's like a really whitey patient.
I don't know if I can. I'm really charming.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be real hard for you, but give it your best shot, bud.
Guy? Essentially, they invite you actually to, all of you, I should say, to the main holding building, to essentially their capital building, to rest there. They do recognize what you have done for them, and they do not wish for you to have to just travel back to the inn. So they're asking you as guests of honor into what is their home to finish out the stay for the night. Is it, Chet, you're a little bit exhausted. I need to know what characters are going to sleep, if any.
I'm going to go to sleep, but I'm going to inquire about the people I saved first. Make sure that they're all actually okay.
All right.
I'll be following the group most likely with Chet, because I don't want him to be left alone in someone else's care without supervision.
Okay, are you going to stay up overnight?
I probably will be up.
All right, discipline and some other skill. I'm going to set the difficulty at 2.
Okie dokie.
Discipline and caffeine.
Fortitude.
Why not? Oh, yeah, definitely. That's a good one.
And since, would you consider that a a physical skill that I can replace with knowledge, or are we out of that scene now?
Technically out of scene, but I'm gonna be a nice GM because you brought it up and you didn't get a chance to use much of it. Do it.
Woo! Big brain time. Let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right. Guy, while you're sitting there, you have one of your dreams while you're awake.
Oh no.
You see the same scene that you saw before where there is this attack. You don't really see it much, but you hear a family again screaming. And you hear them saying, get them to cover, save them. And then it's as if the fight ends. And you can tell in your mind that it's like time passes. And you hear them talking about a girl. And that a girl has caught a disease that they don't know a cure for. You know that the father is pacing nearby, wailing in anger and anguish. And that is where we're going to take a break.
All right then.
So, yes, we are going to take a 10-minute break, and then we will continue our tale with everybody in the room with the Council of Three. Please be sure to hang out, find out what's going on. But we will be back in 10 minutes, everybody.
10 minutes. Bye-bye.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are at the continuation now for Growing Shadows. So, I'm feeling pretty confident after that. I hope everybody's feeling pretty good.
Feeling real good. I mean, I got to punch people.
Yeah.
All right, well, sun comes up the next day on the village, and members of the Adventurers Guild escort you back to, or actually, they would have just knocked on the doors of your rooms and invited you all to the audience chamber with the council. Is there anything anyone would have done special before that point?
Got to looking real good. Finest Izu Empire silks, and fancy pants. I look as good as I can since I'm gonna have to be speaking. Yeah, is Chet with us? Chet's asking
Yes.
if Chet.
I have a whole thing of simply orange juice, extra pulp.
It's just solid. You're eating it with a spoon. It's great.
I'm essentially just eating an orange.
Essentially, yeah. I call it orange deconstructed.
Yes.
Mashed orange.
The pulp is what has all the stuff that makes you feel better when you're sick in it.
Amen. I assume Ronto's social penalty is over.
Yes,
now?
it would have all been over at this point.
Yeah.
So
I'm a
we're
little
just back to her
rat-like.
normal social penalty.
Yeah, my normal level of rattiness.
Ronto,
which-
can you meet me out by the wagon so I can hose you down before we go meet these people?
You're gonna hose me down?
She
You
had
could
a
use a
bath
rinse.
last episode.
I'm really
I
but I can't remember. Oh,
Well,
yes,
out of
I
curiosity,
did.
since you're now technically an adult, do you still maintain kind of the pig pen from Peanuts cartoons kind of behavior, or are you now gussying up a little bit or anything like that?
Say she gussies. I would say she tries to make sure she's not a bad presence to be around smell-wise, but she's like, I mean, you know how grimy Aragorn was in the tavern? She just kind of is in that state at all times.
Well,
There's a
and
constant state of grime.
between Chet reminding us and Chat reminding us, Ronto did get an Emerald City glow up last week. So there was a full on like shampooing, and Kamu got bows all up in his hair, and it was a big deal. So yeah, you probably look fine. You might
I
have a
will
little
say-
blood on you or something from last night, but
I've tussled and rustled and played the shield game. Not to mention she's probably actively tried to undo some of the damage. You could tell there's like bits and pieces of that one lady's, handiwork still there, but she has worked very hard to kind of meet back into a sort of norm for her, though it may not be 100%. If you tell her she has to dress nice, she'll dress nice, but otherwise, she's just walking.
I'm gonna hand you like just something. Like here, just for this because it's important and we are on the business of the new princess or the new government. Can you just wear this kimono? You can even just throw it on over what you're wearing. I will have it cleaned later.
She literally just starts putting it on over exactly what she's wearing, and then just kind of leaves it like an open jacket.
Okay. That's fine. Let's go.
Okay.
Thank you for making an effort.
Yep, anytime.
So yeah, that's all I do.
So, as a group, You are led through the building and finally into a stone chamber. The interior of this building it seems to descend down into an earthen area, but it's instead of earth, it is stone, shaped in a hexagonal pattern. The walls of it are pieces of slate that have just been piled on top of each other, making fairly solid walls. And it appears to be an audience chamber. There are candles here, and the three women from last night that you saw are here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is definitely the Council of Three that we did meet last night.
Yes. They take a moment and they welcome you. We're very thankful that you are here with us and for your actions last night to save people and to some extent perhaps save one of us by risking yourself. We believe that the group that was coming was an assassination attempt. Tactics like this have been very common by Kubio's Pox as of lately. We understand that you came here for a reason. And we would hear what it is that you have to say.
Yes, thank you for meeting with us. We are honored and humbled by this. I also would like to say that we hope that after the events of last night that people are safe and doing well as can be expected.
We believe so, although we have lost quite a bit of our stores. We believe that it gives us reason to think that Yakubio's Pox will be marching this way, and they hope by eliminating some of our stores that they will cripple our city.
Well, I believe our visit might be a fortuitous happenstance. Council. I and my companions are here on behalf of the new government. Essentially, the rebellion against the Empire and against the Emperor. Princess Sakamoto Aiko has sent us to forge an alliance with you, if at all possible. If there are things that you need, we may be able to help provide them. Now with this unfortunate turn of events, the new government may be able to supply you with foodstuffs and stores to replace what was lost. But if you need anything, our goal was initially to come and offer an alliance against the holdout at Fort Genshin?
Yeah, Jinshin, I believe.
Yes, we were going to offer our help with taking back Fort Genshin away from the Golden Lions and the Empire. But this might also be something that we could help you with.
The three of them lean together and talk. Again, they seem to be... Imagine your grandparents' age. But at the same time, there's a realization that comes from being ninjas, or having been around ninjas most of your life, that through the use of jutsu, healing techniques, especially if that is a focus of this clan, you might not be able to guess an approximation of their age. I mean, they might look to be in their 60s or 70s, and yet be in the area of 100.
Do they seem receptive to what I've said at all?
They nod. We will form an alliance. You have definitely proven yourself along those lines. I will say that amongst our number, the Sister of the Blood has always been... They kind of all three look at each other with this. the most level-headed, and there's like a chuckle from one of them, members of the Lotus Ninja, or not Lotus, sorry, Seed and Blossom Ninjas. That said, though, you wish to help us with our current situation, yes? The Yakubio's pox?
Yes, most definitely. We should be able to provide some help against them. We could potentially send even for more. The timing might be a little treacherous, but at least the four of us are here. And I know that we are young and that we may seem unexperienced, but we have been dealing with similar things in our lands. Not Yukubio's pox, but golden lions, things of that nature.
We think that at this point there may be a something that will aid both of us in this. I don't know if you are thinking of martial strength, but the strength of our people is actually a little bit different. We're not a... Well, there are those of us who have martial strength, and our abilities amongst our kind are quite powerful. I don't know if the Yukubio's Pox member would have been able to kill one of us, but to infect one of us. I should explain. Ages ago, when Yukubio's... before our clan came into existence, there were issues of overpopulation, disrespect for nature, disrespect for order, defilements, and one of the Immortals came to us and set things right in our section of the world. That is the best way I can put it without it sounding horrible. But think of it as if a general realizing that there was, or a king realizing that there was disorder to such a great extent within their kingdom, would have realigned everything. And they're kind of beating around the bush, but they're basically saying the Immortal came and slew a great number of their people who were not living in harmony with the rest of the world. And the problem is, though, so the Immortal actually founded Yukubio's Pox. But then that got out of control over time. And so another Immortal arrived, and our sisterhood was founded. And we are the cure. That's the best way to put it. We are the cure for that when destruction, decay, and disease becomes rampant within a land.
Council, as you speak about the pox, and you mentioned that you are the cure, I understand that my friend here has contracted the pox after the altercation last night. After the altercation last night with... stop it, Chet.
You guys are all like dressed to the nines. I'm wearing like a robe and one slipper and like a t-shirt and sweatpants.
You look like Steve Martin in The Jerk when he's like leaving his
Yes.
house.
I look exactly like Steve Martin in The Jerk.
Okay, good.
Camu.
I have some training in healing, not much. My parents are survivors of a plague that they dealt with for a number of years, and I have grown up having learned how to care for them. So, is there Is there a way that I could learn from you so that my friend could be free to travel with us should we need to go again? It sounded last night like he would have to stay here indefinitely and be attended to by one of you.
Staying here would be the most sensible solution.
I can't stay here. I have an empire to overthrow.
It's already affecting him greatly, as you can see. Is there any way?
We will teach you this. But we want you to understand something with that as well. We will be asking you for what we see as the necessary step. You see, the Cubio's box and our entire land is in disarray because we are without guidance. We are the rulers of this city. Through age and through wisdom, we have been called to guide. We have a greater body that oversees things over us. It's dissolved. They have all the different clans have gone. They've all the elders of it have disappeared. And it is time for us to solve things the way that our people would. We need the arrival of another immortal. But we feel like with the elders gone, who are part of that greater body, we no longer have a way to communicate with them.
But it just sounds to me like anytime an immortal shows up, more problems happen. That's you just said.
Every step has brought us further and further into a greater peace. I don't expect you to understand.
I don't.
We will teach you this technique. We wished for you to go then on our behalf to seek out the elders. Not the elders, the immortals.
Okay, so there might is there a way that you've contacted them in the past? Is there something, a place, a sanctuary, a shrine, something that I can at least head toward in an attempt to contact?
Yes. There is place. There is an island.
We know about that, right? And then I'll think I'm being subtle, but I'm not subtly just staring at Guy.
I will look at Ronto and lean over and say, "Can you make Kamu suffocate him for just 5 minutes?"
I mean, I can do that. Yeah. Chet, I need you to and I just kind of, without explaining, just make him lay on top of Kamu and just kind of bury his face in Kamu's fur, and I'm just just sit there and shh, it's okay. Just
Look at the flowers, Chet. Look at the
Really?
flowers.
Smell Kamu.
I'm really between how soft this is and how bad it smells.
No, Kamu's the good smelling one.
In what you call the Arashi Sea, north of our lands, there is an island. It's said to be the island of the Immortals. We want you to go there. Everybody, I'm just going to say, for overall information and knowledge and all the pieces falling into place, give me an intuition knowledge roll.
Can I perhaps use my intuition for random common knowledge? My bonus.
Sadly, I'm going to say no. Because this
I
doesn't fall into random common knowledge. This is your mind palace Sherlock Holmes moment.
We don't.
Do I suffer any minuses?
No. So I got 4 right now from Guy.
If we don't have any knowledge, I'm just rolling straight intuition, right?
You get one for. You always get.
Oh.
Oh, wait,
Well,
is
that,
it?
if you
if
have
you-
nothing, you get one at least. But if you've got
Cool.
intuition, you can roll. What? Wait a second. Yeah, you got 5.
One it is.
I got 5. I have
I got 4.
I have 4 pips in knowledge, guys. I'm like not dumb.
Yeah, he's a monk, John. Monks are
know, but
brainy.
still. He got 5
No,
successes.
I have 0
got
pips
4.
in marksman and crafts. If you want to know what I'm bad at.
Knowledge and intuition are both what I'm bad at.
So, if you remember, the last season, you ended up at a place called Arashi Port, which was the haunted port.
Oh, that
Yeah,
sea.
I referenced that earlier this episode.
Yes, you did. And you were talking with the spirits there, and they told you that the Empire had done something to gravely upset the ocean, and that nothing could travel upon it. That is
That
where
is
they're
correct.
asking you to go.
Well, guys,
Piss, guys. That's not good.
looks like it's time to go back to the spirit world.
Chet.
And at the same time, so you realize that this is the ocean. They said that the Empire had done something. And at the same time, here is this situation where you have not been able to, they have not been able to contact their elders, or their immortals. Their ultimate elders, obviously, because they're immortal. And they are at that sea. All the pieces here should be falling together that perhaps the Empire has done something.
Oh, really? The Empire did something again.
Or something. Or something. All the
Hey.
pieces are hopefully coming together.
So I guess in Chet's fugued, diseased brain, he's just like, "Oh yeah, Rashi, that's the place that the water was all right. Maybe that's
Yep.
why you can't get in touch with your
Yep.
immortals."
It was. Yes, Council, we are familiar with the Arashi Sea, have been at Arashi Port once before.
Met a
It's been
kitty
some
cat.
years now.
And a bear.
We can answer questions if you have them, but yes, we've been there. We can do our best to get there. It is quite dangerous.
They ask you about the spirits, and they want to know what exactly you know. How much do you withhold anything?
I need to confer with my friends. Somebody,
I'm
Chet.
gonna... Okay.
Just for a
Not you.
second. Guy.
I'll just start singing the song.
Yeah, just sing the song. There you go, buddy. Just sing away.
Resisting.
Guy,
Yes.
do you have any... You probably remember that whole incident and the whole situation better than the rest of us. Do you want... I defer to you as to what you would like to tell them and how much. But if we are going to form an alliance here, I do believe we need to be honest.
All right, remind me again. I was responding to some chat.
Oh, no worries.
What
The-
incident are they asking about?
The Celestials, when we went and we hung out in the Celestial world with the cats, and we had to go...
And the
The
giant
giant
bear.
bear.
the giant bear took us there, and then we had to go bop the other cat god on the nose from his
I-
older sister.
I pushed a cat through a tree. That was the best part.
I honestly don't remember what was the
Okay.
end result of that.
Maybe were you with us?
Oh,
I was there. I
Uh,
was there.
yeah.
Yeah, just
Okay.
yeah, the cat
Just-
queen was pleased with us.
Well, can we hand wave GM that we tell them everything that happened? We'll be
yeah.
forthright and open
yeah.
and honest.
Yeah, that's essentially what I was going to wonder, is if you were going to withhold anything.
I don't think it would be wise. Kyo does not think it would be wise to do so. If we're going to forge this alliance, and also being that I have no real grasp on what kind of powers these women hold, or these beings hold, I would not be prepared to lie to them for fear that they would be able to tell, and then that would jeopardize our mission from the princess.
So they say that this may be a way, if you can find a spirit or something, or figure out what is going on. If the water is so horrible to traverse, maybe that's why an immortal hasn't come to right everything, or maybe there's something more going on. But so if you will take up this task for them, they tell you that they will train you in the ways of, basically body purification. I will give you the jutsu and the school that it is from, and you'll be able to purchase that if you so wish, if you have the XP to do so. It essentially rids the body of all diseases or internal imperfections. But on the side note, Yakubio's pox is the one thing that it cannot completely get rid of. You will be able to cure it daily as long as Kyo is with you, but it will always come back.
Guess it's you and me, bud. Best friends forever, right?
BFFF.
If
They inform you that you're going to have to travel north from their lands to another city known as Shoujo no Mei. And there you should be able to charter a boat at the lake and travel north to the coastline. Last thing that they knew is that hidden in mists on that beyond that area of the shore is where the island was said to be. If you can do this, if you can bring us an immortal, or at least allow us to reconnect with them, we should be able to stop Yakubio's pox entirely. The war will be instantaneously called off.
Interesting, okay. Well, that's...
We listen to our elders, we listen to the greatest amongst us, and with the dissolving of the council, the only people they are going to listen to is the Immortals.
If we... Pardon me. But if we help you in this war with Yakubio's pox, and we also assist you in removing the remnants of the Izu Empire from, I don't remember what that strip was called, from Fort Genshin, will you ally with us against the Empire in the larger battle that is being waged currently in the north of the Empire and on the water?
I would say that we can definitely speak for ourselves and this entire clan. And yes, we will align with you against the Empire. And there's a moment pause. They all confer when one of them says that, and then they all shake their heads. They're all in agreement. They're like, yeah, we will all join you.
Do I have like a letter from the princess to like...
We'll go ahead and say yes.
Okay.
It's the letter H.
Back to
I
Dad.
just I pet Chet on the head.
There are those that I'm not certain will join us. I do wish to explain that. If you wish all the clans to unite against the Empire, you'll eventually have to speak with the Crystal Bearers. You'll probably have to speak with the Grim Creepers. And you'll have to speak, or try to speak, with Kyobio's Pox. But,
Starting here is a good first step.
But we can definitely say that if we ally with you, the Phantom Voices will ally with you, more than likely. The Splendid Chameleons, we believe, will also go with us. And the Bamboo Herbalists, you might have to convince. They're very odd. They might just decide on their own to go. You never know what they're going to decide. And all the women, all three of them kind of nod with like, oh yeah, they're odd.
Yeah, those guys are weird.
Jet, do you know?
I was talking out of character.
Oh. Dang it.
I think I have the authority at this stage to commit ourselves however we need to help you. So as far as you say we have to go north, we actually met a fallen celestial on our way here. I don't know if he would be able to help us find a way back. Wasn't that what Boarhead was?
Yes,
Yes.
actually.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They, is there anything that anyone wants to do here? Because essentially at this point, they're going to be like, oh, thank you so much for taking this moment, this opportunity. Let us load your wagon. And that's the way, right that way. Are y'all going to be doing anything before you leave town?
We're gonna eat at that restaurant one more time.
One more time.
And yeah, I need to learn from them for a minute.
Yep. Let me go ahead and look that up really quick.
I've been saving some XP, so it depends on what I get tonight, but I think I'm currently sitting at about 15 over. I've got 15 free XP right now.
Yo, okay, hold up. I mean, I know you're probably not going to make us roleplay out getting food again, but can the first family of 3 that I saved be, like, the guy who owns the restaurant?
How much? I will say, if y'all, because the end of the scene, end of the night, you burn all the karma. Yes.
Throw in a fire.
So
Cook it into some delicious food.
Try to find this power. Here we go. The name of the jutsu, the school is Way of the Vital Currents. If you, I'll go ahead and tell you the backfire if you fail on this, is that you will lose, you'll be down 1 perception for the scene. It's not the worst backfire. I mean,
That's not that bad. I'm okay on perception. Or I can be. I can bump that up.
So, and this is actually a really, I love this clan. I love this power. It's called Perfect Cleansing. It is a basic jutsu. So, this is a basic jutsu. Yang plus fortitude. The ninja gains the ability to clean the blood of anyone they choose, lowering any poison, dosed, or diseased condition by their yang.
Oh, nice.
In addition, the target receives +3 fortitude against poisons and disease checks for the next day.
Nice.
That's basic jutsu.
I got you, Chet. I got you. I know we've had some weird stuff in the past, but I got you.
Yeah.
Good night, Rev. Don't worry, we're going to be actually wrapping it up pretty soon here. So have a good evening. All right. You managed to eat one more time, and you begin to travel north, leaving town. You enter into what is more of a savanna area of the continent as you move north. The thick trees of the jungle that you had been traveling through and everything else, this parts before you. And you're now back in rolling hills, but these are rolling hills that have never been cultivated. So it's semi-tough and slow going, but at the same time, it probably feels a little bit better to get out of that area, you know.
Are you going to make us do another travel montage next week?
Yes.
Okay.
I like.
And
We've done so many this season.
well, I feel like we're at a point where everybody understands them. We can go through them pretty quick, and I like the mechanic. But to end out the night, or end out the session, Guy,
Mm-hmm.
as your group has left the city and you're now traveling north, that dream finds you again. And you see the exact same events, the sounds of fighting, the screams of a woman for her children, the sounds of a lamenting father.
Mm-hmm.
Everything kind of veiled. But in the final moment, I need you to make a knowledge check. I'm going to say knowledge intuition. I'm saying the difficulty at a 3.
Knowledge, intuition. And we don't have. Have we used up all of our rerolls?
We have not. Let me see how many we have.
Because I only got 1 success on 7 dice.
We have 4 rerolls left in
I
the
will
pot.
use one of those. I got 2 successes. I'm gonna use another one.
Just clean
Remind me.
house.
I know, right? Remind me again. With rerolls, can I keep certain dice, or do I have to reroll the entire thing?
Technically, I have said in the past that you can keep some.
Okay,
I
couldn't
have
remember.
said
It's been a
that.
while
I mean,
since-
that might as well be house rule at this point.
I think it's any or all is usually our house rule for that.
nice.
Because it's already a chat gifted thing.
All right, 4 successes.
So as this dream takes place and you hear this in the lamenting of a father for their child, there's actually a moment of clarity. And you see a face come through a door. Basically, this person slides open a door rapidly, and there's a face in front of you. And it takes you a moment, and then you're like, I know that face. And of course you know that face. It's the face on every coin of the Empire. It's the face of Mamoru Izzo. And you wake up. And that is where we're going to call it for the night.
Oof.
Oof, indeed. Jesus. Okay. So
Oofa
you're
doofa.
dreaming about
Note of that.
you're dreaming about the Emperor, and he's a mourning father.
That is worrisome. How would I have know anything about him?
I mean, didn't his son die? Isn't that why he's pissed at the ninja anyway?
His wife and his daughter were
Okay,
said to have been slain by ninja, which kicked off the entire Ninja Crusade.
And we're right in the middle of it.
So that's where we're going to call for the night. I hope you guys have enjoyed this moment as we draw closer and closer to what I've been hoping for the last few years is the big reveal. At least in my version of the Ninja Crusade. Every DM runs this differently. Everybody has an overall different plot to some extent where, I can wax on about that, but I will keep that for when this game ends. I will talk about how anybody can run this game and create their own plot line. But that said, we need to quickly do a poll in chat.
It's done already.
Yep.
All right. So poll has gone out to chat so that everybody out there go ahead.
It's finished.
Oh,
It's already finished. Yeah,
it's already finished.
finished.
Okay.
We're
Well,
on top of
fine.
things.
Fine. Just joking. So, everybody, you remember before, we're going to do it kind of fast because we're coming to the end. Everybody gets a base of 3 XP. I'm going to ask, of course, I want to know, personally as a GM, especially today, what do you feel that your character learned in this show today?
A new jutsu.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah, fair.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, no, I think learning more about the land of seed and blossom and the different I guess spiritual hierarchy or whatever. I don't know exactly what it's called. It doesn't feel like a religion, but it's some type of belief system. Learning about that and their ideology there and how they and just kind of seeing how they work, like the splendid chameleons and stuff. It's kind of fascinating because we've spent so much time with the ones in the Empire that to come over here and see these different types of ninja that have seemingly very different abilities. It's quite fascinating.
Cool. Thank you.
And to see them just like operate in public without fear.
Yeah, so much envy, so jealous.
Well, I would say that's one definitely for Ronto and for Chet. Or sorry, not Ronto and Chet. Kyo and Chet. Sorry. Ronto, I was going to ask you next what you think your character learned this episode. Or if you want to, we can come back to you and I can ask Guy.
Yeah, give me one moment. I'm still formulating.
Ball to you, Guy.
That sometimes being proactive is just as good, if not better, than reacting to um what is thrown at you.
Very true. I won't say that things might have gone necessarily different, but you don't know what could have happened had you not noticed that this was just a distraction.
Hmm.
All right, so back to you, Ronto. Back to you, Justine.
Who
You're
doesn't
muted.
mean to. Oh,
I
No, we
can
can
hear
hear
you
you.
now. I can hear you now. It's just for a second.
okay. Oh, okay. I think Ronto doesn't mean to be a butthead. So um, when Kyo asks her to maybe put in a little bit more effort when we're going to be seeing important people, which should matter more to her than it really does. I think Ronto maybe was thinking, there was a lot writing on this. I could have put in a little less sass and a little bit more, okay, sure, I'll do this for you, champ. So I think she's still on that in between of trying to be less of a weird little butthead and more actually friendly. She just has difficulty. But I
It
think she,
wasn't. It wasn't a
yeah.
personal attack on you, Ronto dear. I promise. It was.
Oh, I think she
It's
just doesn't like to be bossed around.
by
She
and
got too
it's
defensive.
you are the oldest and I am the youngest, so there is also some little age dynamic there that
Hmm.
I'm sure is super fun.
She's working on the active respect thing. It just sometimes she forgets to
Yeah.
do it.
All right, so that gets everybody another XP up to 4. I'm kind of curious. So since it's already done, what did chat say with the XP for? Okay,
Yeah,
so
chat said Kyo.
Mhm.
Kyo got the extra point of XP, so you've got 5. Everybody else has 4. But
In-
table,
Yep.
y'all need to nominate. So who do y'all think really shone this evening? Whether it's leadership or comedy or just a badass moment?
I think
Uh,
for like actually running into combat for once, I want to give it to Guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, guy with his catching that it was a feint, uh, and having the wherewithal to try to communicate with whoever he could, and having the means to do so, I think was a big deal.
cool. So Justine, how about you?
Towards uh the same direction. I was at a weird three-way between all three of you tonight because I'm like I liked different things, but I think Guy did have a really good show stealing moment that really changed the tide of how that battle probably could have gone. So yeah, I would vote for Guy too.
All right. And finally, this is because, I'm kind of curious. Everybody's voted for you, Guy, but who would you say?
Probably Kyo for taking again the center stage for the negotiation bits. But also, I would also probably give it to Chet for trying to save the citizenry from the fire. So
Absolutely,
that's a
that was
toss
also
up.
very good.
Awesome. Well,
I just it's an honor to be nominated.
I'm going to do my GM thing. I'm going to say that all of you get the 5 XP, uh, and that way we're going forward. Everybody's pretty balanced. I, I feel like tonight I'm happy as a GM because we're seeing some of the plot that I put in place from the very beginning coming out. I cannot wait for us to go further. So everybody got their 5 XP coming out of this. Cool?
Cool.
All
Cool.
right. Everyone out there, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We do not have any more games this week. Our next Seriously Let's Play will be next month in April. We have coming up next month, I will be running Dark Heresy, which is the Warhammer 40K role-playing game, which everybody plays. You know, if you know Warhammer 40K, it's the game you usually see people moving figures around on a table and rolling a whole lot of d6s. Uh, in this game, the players take on the parts of an Inquisition team going and dealing with really nasty, horrific stuff in outer space. So it's more of a very dark role-playing game experience with a lot of combat. Uh, think Event Horizon if everybody had guns. There we go. And then the other game we'll have is we will actually have Everyverse, which is one of the first interviews I did with my podcast. Deborah Parisic is going to be on with one of her people that run games, and they're going to be bringing us a tale with that. So that will be our Seriously Let's Play next month. But our next game we have coming up will actually be Illuminated Page, Horror on the Orient Express, coming up on Sunday. And then our next game after that will be Tuesday with By Leaps and Bounties. Be sure to check out that show and be sure to follow us on Discord and social media because we're talking about doing a charity stream and having some stuff coming up with that, which could be really cool. And I think that everybody would really enjoy that show if you gave it a try. I think everybody would enjoy all our shows, but come on. We're actually going to do a charity stream. We're going to hopefully do it. Our goal is to do it for the Trevor Project. We would love everybody to be there to also help support. And that's pretty much about it that I got to say. Oh, April, coming up soon. We have a Shadowrun game coming. Emerald City Nights with Asu from our Discord server. It's going to be his first time running a streamed game, so be sure to come out and watch that as well. But with that, we're going to go ahead and say, everyone, have a great evening and a great rest of the week, and we will see you here in 2 weeks for our continuation as our troop goes off to seek out the Immortals. Night, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Ready for this?